So good evening everybody, this is Andy aka Montolio here, and we are at the CQ Qualifier number 3, top 8, and my first round opponent is GainsBanding, who is playing Affinity. So it was rather unfortuitous for me to draw Affinity round 1, as this is definitely my stacks build's toughest matchup, as it is pretty much for everything in the metagame right now. But basically what this deck does is it just belters out its hand on turn 1 or 2, and it puts you so far behind the clock it's extremely difficult to catch up. So basically what we're trying to do here is try and stabilize on the early assault and get down some of our bigger beaters than he has in his deck and win that way. I think our other avenues to victory here are to be able to get a Metalworker staff combo off, which is rather ambitious because he does run 4 Revokers, and playing a Revoker, it's almost a surefire thing that he's going to name the Metalworker. So we'll have to see if we can get a little bit lucky in that regards. Also, we've got we mentioned the big beaters there. Our Hellkite is extremely good against him, and as well as our Worm Coils, and also the ability to get our Chalices set out at 1 and 2, 2 being the paramount number there because it shuts down his Ravengers, his Genesis Chambers, his Revokers, his Overseers, and 1 is not too shabby itself because it shuts down Skull Clamp, being the main engine of his deck. So yeah, let's see if we can get lucky twice. As I said, we did get by it earlier in the Swiss. We were playing against Caliban in round number 3, and yeah, let's see if we can make lightning strike twice. Okay, so here we are. We won the die roll, which is a good start, and let's see what we can do here. So this hand has a couple things going for it. Unfortunately, I can't do too much in the early turns, but what I can do is I can get a Crucible of Worlds out turn 1, which protects my land base, and by protecting my land base, this is going to allow me to, at this rate, to get out a turn 3 Worm Coil engine, which could be pretty good. I mean, it's far from perfect, but it could get me going on the right direction. So, you know, in the event that GainsBanding has a fair start, not an explosive start, I think that this hand is reasonable. If he does explode on us, this could be quite difficult on us. So I think that's the way we're going to lead, is with a Crucible. There could be arguments made for playing a Thorn of Amnesty here, but the Thorn really doesn't do that much against him. It can slow him down on something like a Genesis Chamber or a Skull Clamp, but that's pretty much it, or a Sol Ring or something like that. I think it's more important to be able to protect our lands against him at this stage of the game, particularly because we have the Worm Coil in place. So I'm gonna keep no. In addition, if we we peel another Mishra's Workshop next turn, that's fantastic. So I'm thinking our opponent might have mulliganed. Yeah. So hopefully he has to keep going here and keep a paltry hand. Because every mulligan is really huge. So the chances are that he's kept a not so good hand is probably around 50%. So you know, I'm really questioning here whether we do want to lead out with a Thorn, because he's got Mana Crypts, Mox Opals. It's difficult. It's really difficult. Because if he did cheat on mana, a Thorn is a much better card. Really tough decision here. It's really tough. Because I think by us playing the Workshop here into the Thorn is really high risk. It puts us farther behind than we want to be. So I think I am just going to lead out with an Ancient Tomb and play a Thorn of Amnesty here, and hope that that slows him down. see, he did play an Ancient Tomb there, so that could be good for us in the sense, you know, if he was going to try and play out a Genesis Chamber or something like that. So he's coming out here. That's 2. Maybe he's going to play okay, he tried to get over the Thorn, so I'm not sure what he was going to do there, but maybe a Skull Clamp here we could be seeing. Okay. That's pretty good, all in all, considering. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be better than a Worm Coil, but... so, we've got our Staff, which is not a great card for us to draw here, admittedly, but I think what we will do is we will come out with a Crucible of Worlds here. Mishra's Workshop and a Crucible of Worlds. And hopefully we don't get, right, doesn't do much noise. Yeah, we're just going to do that. It's not great. We're going to take some damage. Oh, I don't like that at all. Having to take that extra damage, but I know, rest assured, we got to do it. We don't have a choice. So hopefully he doesn't have any more land. Oh, he's got a Workshop. Okay. So we're probably going to be under a lot more pressure at the end of this turn. But the good news is we've got a Worm Coil coming out next turn, no matter what happens here. The only thing that would make me really think twice about that is, well, I was going to say if I drew a Metal Worker, but that's not very good anyways, because we have to play all our land, all our artifacts. So, now with reference to the Worm Coil, when I play it, he does actually run 1 Lodestone Golem, or excuse me, 1 Phyrexian Metamorph, so he could actually copy that technically. I'm not sure what he's trying to get out here. Maybe trying to cast a Memory Jar. Okay, Lodestone Golem's a good one for sure. Well, let's hope that this stabilizes the fort. I mean, where this becomes not as good is if he gets something like a Skull Clamp out and he, you know, ramps up his Lodestone and is attacking into my Worm Coil. But having a Worm Coil out here is definitely one of the best things we can have. The only card that I think I like more than a Lodestone or the Worm Coil engine is the Steel Hellkite, because it removes his threats. And particularly with having mana-producing lands like Tolarian Academy and Factory, unlike Mishra's Workshop, which you can't actually pump into something like your Phyrexian Hellkite. Okay. So Steel Overseer is definitely a problem for us here. It's likely going to be the death of us, I would think. Not quite sure how we're going to get around this here. So I can get 3 land off my Academy right now. Well, I do think we have to attack in. I mean, I can play this thing and I can actually tap down his Lodestone Golem. We take a lot of damage on the backswing though. It's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Putting me up to 16. He can just chump this thing. I still think we've got to go in. we just can't sit back against him, unfortunately. And that is the power of Affinity. Just overwhelms you. You know, these are really piddly-wink guys. So he's not even worried about it. He's just more worried about attacking at this stage in the game. So we will just play this and play this, and I guess we'll just and what would be really nice if he didn't actually have any creatures to come out here, and it just whiffs. You know, another thing is here, right, he hits me for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so he almost kills me here if I don't tap him down. The nice thing is if he doesn't actually play a creature here, I can tap him down with the staff and attack back with the workshop, and hopefully he doesn't see that. Okay, so we are going to tap down his Golem. Okay, so we come from everything. No play. Okay, so he's dead. Alright, well, why don't we just try this here and see what happens. So a little bit of a play error there from GainsBanding, and we will gladly take the victory here. So post-board, our matchup actually becomes pretty good. I would actually say better than his. So we are going to bring in another Worm Coil, another Triskelion, 2 Precursors, a Ratchet Bomb, and I'm contemplating bringing in another Duplicate just because it's another creature. I realized that my casting cost just went up exponentially here, but I beg your pardon. You know, it's just something that needs to be done. I am going to take out the Crucible of Worlds here, which is pretty risky, but I think we got to do it. I'm also going to take out the Thorns, even though I think the Thorn was pretty good for me that game in being able to lock down the Genesis Chamber from coming out turn 1. So you know, Sphere of Resistance just has all-around better utility against his deck. So even though it hurts me as well. So what I've decided to do here is I'm actually going to play 1 Thorn and I'm going to play 3 Spheres. Maybe I actually just do want to have a Crucible in there. What my fear is if he gets the Metalworker locked down on me, I might have a lot of difficulty battling him for mana in order to cast my higher casting cost spells. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring in a Crucible just to play it safe, because a card like that could save me. And this is a situation, one of those classic hands, where if he does not have a Revoker in his hand, we are going to win the game, because we actually have the combo, and we don't have a lot else in our hand. Like these metamorphs are not good with what I have here. But we do have the combo, and you know, I think we have to keep this and try and go for it. We're not as worried about Wasteland if we get the Metaworker in play, and if he gets the Revoker, we still have the Workshop in play to be able to do a little bit of something. So we'll see how it goes. But no, I would not like to mulligan. We will keep. So he's got a average hand to start here. Let's see how it goes. So, yeah, I mean, you know, we got to go for it here, right? He's got it, but hopefully not. There's two cards here that can get us, right? It's Dismember and Revoker. And he's only got 3 cards in hand, so if we get a bit lucky, this could be good for us. Well, it would be better than good. We won the game. So he is thinking long and hard here about what he wants to do against the Metaworker. Yeah, so here's Dismember. Yeah, which is unfortunate, but that's the way she goes. And the beatdown is on. Okay, can we top deck something good here? Alright. I mean, that's not perfect by any means, but it will allow us to get a Metamorph down on his Revoker, or on his Ravager here. And we seem to be racing him pretty good with this Mana Crypt here. Hopefully he keeps losing some rolls here. Okay. So unfortunately, there's not much we can really do here. It'll be interesting to see if he attacks with the Mem Knights, but I suspect he would. I don't see why he wouldn't, actually. Yeah, I mean, we really can't block anything here. And this is putting us in dire straits. We really got a top deck here. That is not the one we wanted to see, I can tell you that much. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how we get out of this, but yeah, we're going to be in a little bit of a sore spot here, but there's not too much we can do about that now. I don't know that it serves putting a Chalice on 0, but it might stop his Ravager. And it's also something that can fuel us here for our Arcbound Ravager, so you know, if we can make our factory go here. The thing is, he can pretty much sacrifice to his land and just kill us right here, so but we'll see if he puts that play together. I mean, that's definitely one of the advantages of having an Arcbound Ravager there. Wow, that Mana Crypt is sure hurting him. So if he does make an error here, we might be able to just kill him here. Like if he doesn't kill us here, which he should be able to. because what would happen, I mean, it's highly unlikely that we're going to survive this turn. I'll clarify here, particularly without losing all our creatures. But in the event he doesn't attack or something like that, we are able to play out more artifacts, which gives us more artifacts than him. And being able to sacrifice and moving it over to something like a Mishra's Factory that's not blocked and killing him is a possibility. Okay, so he might sit and wait now. I'm not sure. I mean, the thing is if he doesn't attack here, we are definitely attacking in next turn. We're going to try and play as many artifacts as we can. We're going to attack in with our factory, our 2 Ravagers. And it's going to put him in a position where he's going to have to block and lose all of his creatures. Now, of course, that leaves us possibly dead on the swing back, but you know, I'm not sure how adept GainsBanding is with this deck that he's playing, so you've got to understand the little nuances of, I guess, any deck you're playing, but hopefully we can sneak one through. And you know, if we draw something like you know, our Academy, or you know, a Worm Coil Engine would be fantastic here, because we could cast it. You know, cast it this turn, and then next turn we can put a Metamorph on it. Triskelion is another card that actually would be very, very good for us. So we have some outs here. Let's see what he does. He's thinking he didn't attack, so top deck. So that is definitely not what we were hoping for, but I mean, he just has to block, does he not? He's going to take 2 damage here to activate his factory. He can make it a 3/3. And he blocks 2 of our guys. He just swings back next turn, so we're just dead, right? But I mean, we're not winning next turn if we don't attack now. Like, we're not going to be able to withstand 2, 4, 6, 8 damage. Right? I mean, I can chump. He just comes with everything. Maybe we do just sit and wait here. My apologies, guys. I actually paused there just to think for a second. But long story short, what I've done is I played a Steel Overseer, a Metamorph, copied his Overseer. I've got my own, and you know, my hope is here that he's going to attack with 1, 2, 3, 4, his 2 Memnix, his Archibald Ravager, and his Mishra's Factory. Wow, we've gotten really lucky on those flips. So that takes Dismember away from him. And he will tap his Overseer and pump them all. Now I'm dead if he attacks with everything. And he sacrifices. But he didn't do it last time to me, so it makes me wonder whether he knows about the Factory combo with the Ravager. But if he does do that, I can just jump block. Well, that makes it difficult. I was hoping he wouldn't have another creature there. So what I could do is I can actually play a staff and tap. I can't tap him down unless I draw another land. Let's see what he does here. Okay, wow. Oh, Wasteland. Okay, that's a pretty good one for us. Problem is this gives everything +1/+1. I can't actually block the Pestermite. So he is going to hit me for... So I might actually... boy. So you can just sack everything onto the Pestermite here. Yeah, I mean, there's not much I can do here. The reality is if I attack, he can block everything that I attack with and sack it to the Ravager and put it on the Signal Pest, right? Maybe I just need to do that. Right, I mean, is he going to make an error? That way, because if it doesn't, like, is he going to attack with everything is the question. He's going to pump, this will be a 1, this will be a 2. Pretty much just dead. But he hasn't killed me yet, that's the thing. Okay. Do I sit back and play defensive and die, or do I attack and die? He's just going to trade everything off and I'm just going to die, right? So we can't really attack. Who knows? Maybe he'll die to his Mana Crypt. So rather unfortuitous, but we hung around a long time in this game. But if he doesn't attack now, I'm not sure what he's trying to do. That Signal Pest, though, is definitely problematic. Okay, so that is definitely the smart play. Geez, you'd almost think I'm playing Affinity by looking at my board here. Double Ravager and Steel Overseer. As I stated in my opening hand, you know, having the different metamorphs and things, you know, not very good. So if he does actually activate here, so if he just comes with the Signal Pest, I'm pretty much just dead, I'm sure. Yeah, he is. He's just going to sack his Raptor. Not much I can do there. Oh, does he sack his Ravager here? He's thinking long and hard about it. You know, I could have tapped down his Signal Pest there maybe that was the right play, but all he had to do was attack with everything and I just die anyways because I need to have the factory in order to block. I'm not sure what he's thinking about. I have no cards in hand here. I mean, I can gain a little bit of life, but and if he doesn't pump it, there's a chance he's dead. So that is the sound of a sacrificing. Okay, I guess he's just going all in here. Just putting it on his booster mic. Yeah, there's nothing I can do on that. So 7, and I can gain 1 life. 5. Yep, not much I can do there. So, I guess that was the right play. Oh, and there's the duplicate. Boy, that would have been sweet. Okay, so we were lucky to hang around in that game as long as we did. And I think I'm going to bring back another thorn and get rid of my crucible here. With the GG. So let's take her in and see what happens. We do just want another crucible. It's a tough decision. It just gives me so much reach in the late game, but it's not too often I reach late game against Affinity, so why don't we do a thorn then? A little bit of back and forth. Yeah, most unfortuitous though that second game there. We had pretty much a nut opener. Had he not had the Revoker or the Dismember, it would have been really sweet to turn 2 combo. Luck, and for the marbles. So this is a very mediocre hand. I do think I'm going to keep it. What I would end up having to do, where this, oh, it's so brutal. If this was just a workshop, I'd be in heaven right now. But I don't know that I can actually keep this, because what I can do is I can play a City of Traders, turn 1 Chalice, then get out a Metalworker, sacrificing my Tolarian, my City of Traders for Tolarian Academy, which I guess lets me play out a Sphere of Resistance. It's slow and clunky, but if he wastelands this turn 1, it's down a couple Piddlywinks. Excuse me. Maybe we actually want to put this thing on 0 and play out a Sphere of Resistance. Does that work? And then next turn. Yeah, why don't we do that? This is a very high risk hand to keep. It's got potential though. All right. So, really we don't even care. It'd be optimal if he wastelanded our City of Traders here in a lot of ways. As long as we can draw into some lands here in the next couple turns. But if not, we can get down to Trinisphere, which is extremely potent against his deck. As long as he doesn't have the workshop. But it makes everything he casts taxed, so. Okay. Overseer. Sphere resistance, unfortunately, is not what we want to see here. But we are going to get down. The question is do I fool around here? I think we kind of got to get a Metalworker out. Yeah. Force him to get a Revoker on the table. Dismember. You know, the Trinisphere would have been incredible there to have out, but I just don't think we can gamble with not having the mana, and the Metalworker will resolve our early issues of that. So that was a smart play by us, because we just lost our only land. And we'll have to hope that, you know, what would be really, really super sweet. Oh, dismember. Okay, got lucky there. Can we dodge it again? Can we draw the staff? No. We drew a City of Traders, which is not very good. Well, the gig is up. I'm actually not going to play the others out here in hopes that if I draw a staff, I'm getting closer. You know, I can definitely take a hit from this thing for a while. Hopefully it doesn't draw any more heat. Alright, that's a bit of a stinker. Because, I mean, we're not advancing the board through attacking or blocking with Metalworkers right now. We have to be able to combo out or get something like a Triskelion or a Duplicant or Wormcoil or Hellkite. Hellkite would be great. We got lots of heat. We just got to draw into it. In addition to that, I mean, we need the mana production from the Metalworker as well, and the artifacts are a direct lifeline to that, so we've caused enough disruption here with Trinisphere to help us out for a while, so we just need to do some top decking. Alright, so we're we're not going to do anything here. Might have been worth him to actually activate his Ancient Tomb there to get his factory active and pump it up with the Overseer. You know, one of the things we're risking here by leaving this Soul Metalworker out there is if he does get a Dismember going and he kills that, then we're in trouble. So I think he's probably going to attack him with the factory here, and one of his Overseers would be my guess, and he'll pump them. So we are officially under some pressure here. We're going to need to combo out in the next 2 turns or get some serious heat going here. So there you have it, guys. We are going to win the game, I think. And I strongly suspect my opponent is going to make me play this out, because it's the not very nice thing to do. All right.